And I have to tell you something, most people are not consistent. And growth happens when you are catching the other side of compounding, when your efforts are being compounded over and over and over again. They tell you the rate of return is 5% over 12 months.
Consistency is so important. But to me, it's important because it helps us maximize our mental capacity.
Okay, here within our team, we talk to our rainmakers about having 4 to 6 one-on-ones a week.
Matt Weaver, the #1 mortgage originator in the United States for most loans closed in 2023 and #1 in the state of Florida from 2020 to present, has spent over 27 years mastering the purchase market, earning more than 16 #1 titles across his career. Max Fisch, 2024's #1 originator in the United States under 30 and #2 in the state of Florida, achieved those titles within just 5 years of entering the mortgage industry, compressing decades of growth into a few extraordinary years. Collectively, they've helped more than 40,000 families purchase their first home. Now partners and looking to improve the industry on a national scale, Matt and Max share their winning formula, team structure, and systems with originators who want to scale from elite to extraordinary levels.
So Matt, you know what's been the most interesting thing since partnering together? Oh, I should say, there's many interesting things, but one of the most interesting things
Okay.
is spending time with you. It's so funny because real world things and situations always turn into some type of business metaphor.
Yes.
It's almost like you're always looking for these opportunities and they make so much sense. And so it's fun when the smallest of things that you don't even think about, you bring up as a business metaphor. And we were just talking offline about one that I really want you to share because it was so interesting and true about what we do and who we are and et cetera. So can you share that real quick?
Well, if you recall, the first week we started working together, I asked you a question, and the question was, do you park in the same parking spot? And I could see in your eyes that you knew what I was talking about, but you definitely found it to be a weird question, which is an awkward question. There's just no question about it. Now, let's be clear here. As far as debating back and forth, should you park in the normal way or back in? That's a whole other discussion.
This was a long discussion between me and you.
Okay, so backing in is ridiculous. Let's just first put that out there right here. You're physically passing the spot to then back in. I'll never get it. But listen, we'll leave that for the viewers to decide, okay?
We were, by the way, we were at a restaurant debating that.
Yeah.
And I remember the waitress walked up to us and you used her as the tiebreaker.
Correct.
She did agree with you that backing in was ridiculous.
Oh, you're if you still believe it. When we drew it out on the BevNap, showing how you're passing the spot. But listen, their time is precious. We're not going to spend it on this part of the story. But I did ask you a serious question, and I was serious about it. Do you park in the same parking spot every day? And you see, that's a metaphor for consistency. And I have to tell you something. Most people are not consistent. And growth happens when you are catching the other side of compounding, when your efforts are being compounded over and over and over again. And the only way that you can compound is if you're consistent in what you do. So some people have that naturally, some people have it intuitively. So I don't want anyone to walk away saying to themselves, well, I don't park in the same spot every day. Okay, does that mean I won't compound? Does that mean I won't grow my business? I'm not necessarily saying that, but ask yourself why. Why aren't you parking in the same spot every day? That's a very interesting set of circumstances because when you're changing where you're parking, you're changing your routine.
Yeah.
And when you change your routine, it's really hard to gain any real momentum in anything. Now, to be fair to the group, I am a very habitual person. Okay, we've talked about this.
Yes.
I eat on time, not when I'm hungry. I go to bed on time, not when I'm tired. Okay, my poor wife, we'll watch a show, one show a night, and it'll be 9:15, and you know me, 9:15 now is bedtime. And she'll say, so do you want to watch another half episode? You know, she stays up till 10:30, 11. She's got to watch the kids a little bit longer because it's summertime. And I'll just say to her, sorry, honey, got to go to bed right now, even if I'm not tired, because I have to keep the synchronization going. Now, that probably sounds a little intense, okay? But here's the deal. It is intense because I need to accomplish things. And some of the things that I'm looking to accomplish, of course, are in the morning. The morning routine that I have is very habitual in nature. There's certain reading that I do. There's certain thinking that I do. There's certain planning that I do in the morning. And so if you think about it, well, I said to her just today, my wife and I were talking just about starting the morning the right way and scheduling. And what I said to her was, can you imagine if I did sleep in a little bit later and I lost the time of thinking, lost the time of reading? If you took that and compounded that over 6 months, the amount of loss that would take place is pretty catastrophic for me and what I'm looking to accomplish. So parking in the same spot to me represents consistency. And I think, actually, let me think. I know that in order for us to get to where we want to get to in the business that we're looking in this great industry and get to the business that we want to get to in terms of amount of production, units closed, and what have you, we have to be consistent with our efforts and we have to compound it. So I want the group to think of it this way. Okay. You take $10,000 or $15,000, you walk into a bank. You ask the bank, what are you giving for CDs today? They say 5%, let's just pretend. Okay, you hand over 15,000. They tell you the rate of return is 5% over 12 months. Well, here's the deal. If you go back in 3 weeks from now, pull the money out, let's assume they let you, hold it, you now have it in your possession for 5, 6, 7, 8 days, then put the money back. Then 3 weeks go by, pull the money out for 5 or 6 days, put it back. You will not get the 5% rate of return because the rate of return wasn't allowed to compound itself. You kept interrupting the compounding process. So when we look at our schedule, okay, as originators, as people that want to grow their business, are you allowing your schedule to compound itself day over day over day? Okay, here within our team, we talk to our rainmakers about having 4 to 6 one-on-ones a week. Okay, the only way to get to 4 to 6 one-on-ones a week, that's on our non-event weeks. Okay, in order to get to our 4 to 6 one-on-ones per week, they have to be so habitual in nature with their schedule the week prior to fill the inventory slots for the week after.
Yes.
And if they disrupt the week of prospecting by not doing it a day or two here and there, you're just not going to compound that momentum of which you know a lot about.
Yeah, so I think we can both agree that the origination industry and what we do to do it at a high level in any lane that you sit in is a high activity job,
Yes.
profession. High activity, and it takes a lot of mental capacity. So I'll take your metaphor to a different, because I agree 100% with all you just said. Consistency is so important. But to me, it's important because it helps us maximize our mental capacity, our time. Because what habits do when they become habits, by nature, a habit is something that you do and you don't really think about.
Correct.
You just do things consistently. And so by using the metaphor of parking in the same parking spot, it's like when I pull in, I'm not driving around like, well, should I park over here? Like, should I go over here? And thinking about it, I just know what parking spot I'm going in and I just pull into the parking spot.
Correct.
And as something as little as that can be projected onto bigger things in our life, that if we create habits by doing them consistently, we don't have to spend time thinking about it, which opens up space and mental inventory, so to speak, for other things and other activities that we're doing, so that we're constantly adding and not replacing. You see, when something becomes a habit, we don't need to replace it with anything anymore. It's just something we do.
This is something that we do.
And so it's such an interesting thing, because especially as originators and people that want to grow in anything, really, if you create habits, it's just creating more mental inventory.
Without a doubt. I mean, the only thing different you should be doing in your life is different experiences.
Yes.
Exposing yourself to different, whether it be books, travel, people, places, etc. But as far as our business, we should be relatively consistent all the time. By the way, just for the viewers to know, you do park in the same parking spot every day. And I was really relieved. I asked you that question, but I already knew the answer to it. I only had a week under my belt. I did observe where you were parking. if you're just randomly parking into just a different spot, I mean, you got to really consider not doing that. Just being honest with anyone who's
It
listening.
takes like actual, like
Correct.
you're thinking about it.
That's right.
You know?
That's right. So we eliminate that thought process. Look, there's no wonder that some of the most brilliant minds on earth would wear the same clothing every day. Okay. Most of them of which are just wearing a black t-shirt and black jeans, and that's it. Okay. We can name some of those great minds. I'll never forget, there was an interview, not to get political here, but there was an interview with President Obama when he was president at the time. And I'll never forget, I remember what he said was, I have a navy blue suit and a black suit. That is it. I have to eliminate the thinking when I'm getting ready. So to your point, what happens is that you got to eliminate that type of energy because we're moving at such high capacity, okay, that we just got to get rid of that. Speaking of which, now this is a fun one because this ties into everything which we just had a conversation about yesterday. Getting things off the plate because they become energy sucks.
Same idea.
Same idea. And we were speaking to one of our rainmakers, okay, who can in a lot of ways get kind of stuck looking for the perfect time, when to message someone, text message them or reach out versus just getting it off the plate and getting it done. And that's something that we just spoke about just yesterday.
Yeah, and I think that's it's so important of a concept. It's overlooked, I feel, because it's so easy for us something to come up and to say, okay, well, I'm going to do that later. I'm going to do that at this time. That's not important. You see, even if it's not something that is very urgent or, threatening to the organization or to your business, or even if it's not, what happens is it builds up.
Right.
And it takes thought later on to where if you can get rid of it right then and there, then again, you're taking care of it and now you're open again.
Correct.
And it's all about this recycling of just space up here.
And resource.
Yeah. It's just this recycling.
Resource.
It's just this recycling. I mean, forget about the importance of, in my opinion, doing things quickly just because you want to get it done. But it's so important for us to be able to maximize our activity on a daily basis, because if not, then it's just going to build up. You're going to find yourself on defense.
No, without
It's really how you stay on offense.
So yeah, and what we explained to him was, remember, it's called a mobile phone. So do things in motion. Okay, so well, we did it yesterday. We talked about in our meeting that you and one of our head advisors should be meeting on a specific initiative.
Yes.
And as we're talking it through, you said yes. I picked up my cell phone while we were in the meeting, and I created a group text. David, meet with Max. Max, meet with David. Goodbye. Next.
Right there.
You see, I mean, what am I going to do? Wait 3 more hours?
Yeah.
And then reach out to David? Well, what happens if David runs into his wife that night and she says, hey, honey, you want to meet for lunch tomorrow?
Yeah.
And he commits. And then 3 hours goes by. Then I asked him, now he can't because he committed for lunch. And then if he can't meet you tomorrow for lunch, okay, to talk about the initiative, then we lost a day. And if we lost a day, what other impact does that have? Get it off the plate. Get into action.
To have some fun with him. It just for all the viewers, just to have some fun, keep it lighthearted. It takes just as long to write yourself a note to do it later than to just do it right. So we might want to consider doing things.
And for the perfectionists out there, okay, realize this, that everyone is okay with this casual society in terms of text message. If something's not capitalized, it's okay.
It's okay.
Just get the message off.
Yeah.
The plate, get it over there, get it done. And lastly, I do want to leave the message, a very important message with the viewers that we care about a lot, which is the following. Park in the same spot every day.
1000%. Thank you, Matt. At F13, you're not just joining an originator consulting company. You're joining an elite group of originators, all chasing number one, challenging each other to think differently, to think in an unorthodox manner. So visit think13.com to learn more about F13 Consulting so that you can scale your business to extraordinary levels. Thank you for watching.